Most people don't realize this. Survival is not living. Survival is the bare minimum. It's breathing in and out, paying bills, checking boxes, and hoping the day ends without too much pain. It's a mindset of scarcity, protecting yourself from loss instead of going after what you truly want. And when you live in survival mode long enough, you forget that you were made for more. You forget that life was meant to be experienced in color, not just in shades of gray. Survival keeps you looking down, head bent, just trying to avoid the next blow. Thriving has you looking up, scanning the horizon, asking, "Where's my next opportunity?" See the difference? One is about playing defense with your life. The other is about playing offense with passion. When you thrive, you're not just reacting to circumstances, you're creating them. You're designing the life you want instead of settling for the one that just happens to you. The danger of survival mode is it feels safe, and safety is addictive. It convinces you to stay in the shallow end of the pool because, yes, you won't drown there. But you'll never swim either. Thriving requires stepping into deeper water. It requires risk, vulnerability, and courage. It's trading comfort for growth. And here's the truth. Growth never happens in the safety zone. Think about it. Every breakthrough you've ever had in life happened because you broke the routine. You did something different. You challenged your comfort. You said, "I can't keep living like this. I deserve better." That's the spark that starts the shift from surviving to thriving. Thriving is an intentional decision, not a random accident. When you thrive, you don't just get through the day. You own it. You don't just hope the week is better than last week. You make it better. You actively invest in your mind, your health, your relationships, your dreams. You no longer accept barely okay as your baseline. You set the standard higher and then you meet it. And let's be real. Thriving doesn't mean life is perfect. You're still going to face storms. But instead of sheltering in fear, you learn to dance in the rain. You adapt. You grow stronger. You find joy even in struggle because you understand the struggle is shaping you. That's the power of a thriving mindset. It turns every obstacle into a building block. So here's the call to action. Stop asking life to simply not hurt you and start asking life to light you up. Stop settling for, "I'm getting by," and start demanding, "I'm getting ahead." Survival is a cage. It keeps you alive, yes, but it keeps you small. Thriving is freedom. It takes courage, but it gives you your life back. And you deserve nothing less. Here's the brutal truth. Most people are living their lives like they're waiting in a lobby for someone to call their name. They're waiting for the green light, the nod, the validation, the magic moment when someone finally says, "Okay, now you're allowed to be happy. Now you can go for your dreams." But that moment, it never comes. No one is showing up to hand you permission. You have to give it to yourself. Permission is powerful because it's the turning point where you stop asking and start declaring. It's where you say, "I'm done seeking approval from people who don't understand my vision." The day you give yourself permission to live fully is the day you break the chains of needing to be liked, approved, or accepted by everyone else. You stop auditioning for a role in your own life and start directing it. Why do we wait for permission? Fear. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of being too much for someone else's comfort. But here's the kicker. Those fears don't go away when you play small. They stay. The only difference is when you deny yourself permission, you also deny yourself the rewards, the adventure, the joy, the fulfillment. You're left with fear and regret. And regret weighs 10 times heavier than fear ever will. When you give yourself permission to live fully, you stop living on other people's timelines. You stop following rules you never agreed to in the first place. You decide what your mornings look like, what your relationships feel like, what your work means to you. You're no longer a passenger. You're behind the wheel, steering with intention, even if the road is bumpy. And here's the thing, living fully isn't about reckless abandon. It's about conscious abundance. It's about saying yes to what fuels you and a hard no to what drains you. It's about filling your life with meaning instead of just filling your calendar with obligations. It's about creating space for joy, connection, and growth instead of settling for survival mode habits. Giving yourself permission isn't a one-time event. It's a daily decision. Every morning, you get to choose. Will I play small today to avoid discomfort? Or will I step into my full life, even if it scares me? Some days you'll hesitate. That's okay. But you keep choosing over and over until living fully becomes your default, not your exception. So here's my challenge to you. Don't just exist in your own story, own it. Don't just be a chapter, be the author. Give yourself permission today to laugh louder, love deeper, dream bigger, and walk taller. You don't need the world to say yes. You just need you. And once you give yourself that yes, no one can take it back. For too long, too many women have been taught to see their bodies as a battlefield, something to fight, fix, shrink, or hide. The world tells you your body is only valuable if it fits a narrow standard, and if it doesn't, you should apologize for it. But here's the truth. Your body is not a prison. It's the reason you can live, move, feel, love, and experience this world. It's not your punishment, it's your power. Think about it, this body has carried you through every storm. It's healed wounds. It's recovered from heartbreak. It's endured sleepless nights, heavy burdens, and moments you thought would break you. And yet, here you are, standing, breathing, living. Your body is the home that never abandoned you, even when you abandoned it. When you see your body as a prison, you start to measure your worth by numbers, scales, sizes, and likes on a screen. You live in comparison, always chasing an image that isn't even real. But when you choose to see your body as power, the whole game changes. You stop asking, does it look good enough? And start asking, what can it do? How strong can it get? How much can it carry me toward the life I want? And let me be real, thriving in your own skin isn't about ignoring flaws or pretending you love every single inch, every single day. It's about respect. It's about gratitude. It's about looking at your reflection and saying, thank you for getting me this far. Now let's go further. That's power. That's partnership with your own body. Your body is the instrument that allows you to live your mission. It's the engine that fuels your purpose. If you treat it like a prison, you'll try to escape it your whole life. If you treat it like power, you'll invest in it, protect it, and unleash it. You'll stop tearing it down with criticism and start building it up with care. Here's the breakthrough. You don't need a perfect body to have a powerful life. You need a body you're willing to partner with, nurture, and trust. The power comes not from how it looks in the mirror, but from what it allows you to do in the world. Every strong step you take, every breath you control, every challenge you conquer is proof this body works for you, not against you. So from this moment forward, see your body for what it is, a gift, a tool, a weapon for your dreams. Stop living like you're trapped in it. Start living like you're empowered by it. This body is not your cage. It's your freedom. And when you honor it, it will take you further than you've ever imagined. Let me tell you something that will set you free. Ready is a lie. It's the most seductive excuse the mind creates to keep you from moving. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll speak up when I feel ready. I'll take the leap when I'm ready. And because that moment never magically arrives, years go by while your dreams sit on the shelf collecting dust. The truth, you don't wait for ready. You start, and ready shows up later. The problem is, Most people confuse readiness with certainty. They think they need to have every step mapped out, every skill mastered, and every fear erased before they begin. That's not readiness. That's perfectionism in disguise. And perfectionism is just procrastination dressed up to look noble. Thriving requires you to move before you feel completely equipped. Look at anyone you admire. The business leaders, the athletes, the artists, the game changers. They didn't start because they were ready. They started because they decided. Decision beats readiness every single time. Why? Because readiness is an emotion, and emotions are fickle. Decision is a commitment, and commitment is where transformation begins. Waiting for ready is safe. It keeps you from failing, yes, but it also keeps you from winning. It keeps you in the stands watching the game instead of on the field playing it. And here's the kicker. You can't learn how to thrive by watching. You learn by doing. You get the skills, the confidence, and the clarity on the path, not before you step onto it. Sometimes the very act of starting is what makes you ready. The first workout builds the momentum. The first speech builds the confidence. The first risk builds the resilience. Readiness grows in motion. That's why movement is non-negotiable if you want to thrive. You can't think your way into readiness. You have to act your way into it. And yes, moving before you feel ready is uncomfortable. That's the point. Comfort zones are built for survival, not growth. When you let go of the myth of ready, you give yourself permission to be messy at the start, imperfect in the middle, and still unstoppable at the finish. You trade certainty for possibility, and possibility is where life happens. So from now on, stop waiting for the perfect timing, the perfect mood, the perfect circumstances. They don't exist. Instead, make this your new rule. If it matters to me, I start now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now. You don't need ready. You need courage. You need commitment. You need to step before you see the staircase. And when you do, you'll realize you were more ready than you ever believed. One of the greatest prisons people live in is the need for approval. You know what I'm talking about? That constant silent question in your mind. Do they like me? Do they think I'm good enough? Am I measuring up? It's exhausting. And the worst part, even when you get the approval, it's never enough to fill the gap because you're building your worth on shifting sand. Here's the shift. You stop asking, do they like me? And start asking, do I like me? That one question changes everything. When your self-worth comes from alignment with your own values, your own vision, your own truth, you stop being at the mercy of everyone else's opinion. You no longer rise and fall based on whether someone claps for you. External approval is like junk food. It gives you a quick hit, but it doesn't nourish you. Internal alignment is like a healthy meal. It fuels you for the long run. When you live in alignment, your choices, your words, your actions are a reflection of who you truly are, not who you're trying to impress. And that's when peace shows up. That's when confidence becomes unshakable. The truth is, chasing approval is survival mode. It's about avoiding rejection. But internal alignment is thriving mode. It's about pursuing authenticity. And authenticity has a magnetic quality. When you live in it, the right people are drawn to you and the wrong ones fade away. You stop trying to fit in and you start standing out on purpose. Living in alignment means you're willing to disappoint others if it means staying true to yourself. That's hard at first, especially if you've built your identity around pleasing people. But the freedom that comes with it is priceless. Because now, when you succeed, you know it's your win, not a performance for someone else's applause. And here's the irony. When you stop living for approval, you often get more respect. People sense when you're grounded in who you are. They trust you more because you're consistent. They may not always agree with you, but they know where you stand. And more importantly, You know where you stand. So from this moment on, stop outsourcing your worth. No audience, no critic, no follower count gets to decide your value. Align with your truth, your values, your mission. Let that be the compass. Because the applause will fade, the opinions will change, but the person you become when you live in alignment, that lasts forever. Somewhere along the way, many women are taught to shrink. Speak softer, sit smaller, blend in, don't take up too much room, physically, emotionally, or energetically. That's survival mode. Thriving means breaking that conditioning wide open. Thriving means standing tall, speaking loud, and letting your presence be felt without apology. Taking up space isn't arrogance. It's ownership. It's saying, I have the right to be here. I have the right to be heard. I have the right to be seen. The woman who thrives doesn't dim her light so others can shine. She lights the whole damn room. She knows that when she expands, she gives permission for others to expand too. Every time you shrink yourself to make others comfortable, you send a message to your mind that you're not enough. And over time, that message becomes a belief. But every time you take up space, every time you share your opinion, set a boundary, walk with confidence, you're reprogramming that belief. You're telling yourself, I belong here. I matter. Taking up space doesn't mean dominating others. It means refusing to disappear. It means your voice carries weight. Your body moves with purpose. Your energy commands attention. It's not about ego. It's about authenticity. You're not pretending to be bigger than you are. You're allowing yourself to be exactly as big as you are. And here's the truth. When you fully occupy your space, you make a ripple. People notice. Some will be inspired. Others might be intimidated. That's not your problem. Your job is not to manage their comfort. It's to live your truth. The world doesn't need more women apologizing for existing. The world needs women who walk into a room and change the temperature. Women who use their voices to speak life, their hands to build, their presence to inspire. That only happens when you stop holding yourself back. So here's the final challenge. Take up space. Fill it with your laughter, your vision, your love, your brilliance. Don't shrink to fit into boxes you've outgrown. Stretch, expand, and own your ground. Because thriving in your own skin starts when you stop living like a guest in your life and start living like the rightful owner of it. This is your time. This is your place. Take it. So here's where we land. This isn't about just getting through life anymore. This is about rising, expanding, owning every inch of who you are. You've walked through storms. You've faced seasons where survival was all you could manage. But now, you know too much to go back. You've tasted what it feels like to thrive, and once you taste it, you can't settle for less. From this moment forward, you don't play small. You don't wait for permission. You don't apologize for your power. You stand in your truth, in your body, in your story, and you take up space fully, fiercely, unapologetically, because thriving isn't a luxury, it's your birthright. The shift from surviving to thriving starts right now, in this moment, with one decision: I choose to live fully. And when you make that decision, truly make it, your life will never be the same. You'll walk into rooms differently. You'll face challenges differently. You'll see yourself differently. So stand up in your spirit. Take a deep breath. Feel the ground beneath your feet and remember, you belong here. This is your life. This is your skin. And from here on out, you're not just surviving in it. You're thriving in it. And the world is better because you are.